Tonight on Y News. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee will present tomorrow new witnesses in the 2013 alleged Agaw BATO incident in Pampanga. LRT-2 resumes partial operations today with 5 running trains from Cubao to Recto. The Department of Health confirms another meningococcemia case in Laguna. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno Domagoso celebrates his achievements in his first 100 days in office. And a teenage dumagat in Quezon Province is determined to reach his dream to become a seaman. Good evening. The Senate will present 1 or more witnesses when the joint hearing on the Agaw BATO scheme and GCTA for sale resumes tomorrow. Grace Casin has the details.
Senate President Vicente Soto III assures there will be new developments the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee will tackle tomorrow, October 9, 2019, particularly in the 2013 Agaw BATO incident in Pampanga.
Pinagkukuha yung sasakyan ni Johnson Lee. That will be part of the investigation tomorrow na lalabas yung mga sasakyan na tinira.
New witnesses will be presented, but the Senate President has refused to name them. On the GCTA issue, Senator Soto says BuCor officers Mabel Bansil and Veronica Bunio have admitted that former Bureau of Corrections Chief Nicanor Faeldon did not benefit from the GCTA for sale, but Bansil and Bunio have revealed new information to senators. But for their safety, the lawmakers decided not to make it public.
Marami silang sinabi. Yes, maraming sinabi sa executive session. Pero ang mga sinabi nila is related to their work.
As for the statement of PNP Chief Police General Oscar Albayalde that the inclusion of his name in the Agaw BATO scheme was politicized, Senator Soto said,
Let's say si General Albayalde, meron siyang dapat sisihin. Ang Senado, sisihin niya. Yung Blue Ribbon, hindi siya medyo magalong.
BuCor officials, former PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Chief Benjamin Magalong, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency Chief Aaron Aquino, and PNP Chief Albayalde are still invited to attend tomorrow's hearing. Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
PNP Chief Police General Oscar Albayalde retires in a month. PNP spokesperson, Police Brigadier General Bernard Banac says it is the National Police Commission, or NAPOLCOM, who will send to the President the list of their recommendations for the next PNP Chief. Leah Ilagan details why.
PNP Chief Police General Oscar Albayalde has not received any request from the DILG-NAPOLCOM or from the palace regarding the list of his recommendations for his successor. PNP spokesperson, Police Brigadier General Bernard Banac says they are waiting for the request before the PNP send a recommendation to the NAPOLCOM. The NAPOLCOM will send a list to President Rodrigo Duterte. The PNP will include the names of the contenders, their brief accomplishments, and their present positions. Banac adds NAPOLCOM has the liberty to add names on the list of the candidates if they feel that other police officials are qualified for the post.
Yun ang normal na proseso. Subalit, maaari din namang humingi mismo ang Pangulo, diretso na from the Chief PNP. So, nasa kapangyarihan niya yon. Pero kung walang gagawin, ang Pangulo na diretsong paghingi sa Chief PNP, yung normal na proseso lamang dadaan papunta sa kay Secretary of the Interior and Local Government at paakyat sa Pangulo.
Banac also says members of the command group, head of the National Support Units, and the NCRPO Regional Directorate are included in the list. But there are also incidents that President Rodrigo Duterte does not choose from the list given by the Chief PNP. Instead, he chooses unofficials whom he trusts the most.
Wala namang limitasyon kung ilan ang maaaring isumite. Lahat ng mga one-star rank pataas ay qualified na maaaring mamuno ng Philippine National Police. So may mga pagkakataon na may mga deep selection na ginagawa ang Pangulo.
between Deputy Chief for Operations, Police Lieutenant General Archie Gamboa, and the Chief Directorial Staff, Police Lieutenant General Camilo Cascolan, one may be the replacement of the PNP Chief. NCRPO Director Police Major General Guillermo Eliazar and Manila Police District Director Vicente Danao Jr.'s name have also floated. Even the name of Firearms and Explosive Office Director Police Brigadier General Val de Leon, who is considered as the dark horse, has also surfaced. Leia Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
The Philippine National Police supports the proposal to have police personnel undergo a lifestyle check. This comes amid the Ninja Cops controversy. April Senadoza reports why.
PNP Chief Police General Oscar Albayalde has been tagged in the controversy of the so-called Ninja Cops who were allegedly recycling confiscated illegal drugs. Because of this, the Philippine National Police are in favor of a lifestyle check on their personnel.
Well, normal naman itong lifestyle check na ito sa PNP. In fact, every year ay isinasagawa ito ng ating Internal Affairs Service at bahagi na talaga ito ng ating programa ng pagtupad natin sa mga batas na pinaiiral.
The PNP explains lifestyle check is done to ensure compliance with Republic Act No. 3019 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act and Republic Act No. 6713, in line with the principle that public office is a public trust. PNP personnel are obliged to submit their statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth or SALN. They need to state their records are truthful.
By affixing his or her signature, he or she attests to the veracity, the truthfulness of the contents of his report.
The country's top cop has challenged former PNP CIDG Chief and now Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong to show evidence before accusing him. It can be noted Albayalde has been accused of buying a sports utility vehicle after the Pampanga drug operation in 2013. April Senadoza, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
1,200 respondents scrutinized the performance of and measured their trust in the country's high-ranking government officials in a Pulse Asia survey last month. The result of that survey showed that President Rodrigo Duterte's trust and approval ratings dropped compared with the ratings in the previous months. May Bermudez will tell us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte's approval rating dropped by 7 points in the September 2019 Pulse Asia survey. Pulse Asia says Filipinos have varying reasons in giving their approval or disapproval in a government official's performance. But the research firm clarifies this does not mean the public's distrust rating for the president has gone up.
Ang tumaas yung indecision. Hindi sila makapagsabi kung sila'y nagtitiwala o hindi nagtitiwala. Maaaring iba-iba yung kanilang dahilan, pero siguro malaki yung epekto nitong mga balita tungkol sa nangyari sa Bureau of Corrections.
This is not the first time a significant drop was recorded for the chief executive's performance in a Pulse Asia survey. In September last year, the chief executive's performance rating dropped by 15 points due to inflation and rice shortage in the country. But public confidence was regained in the succeeding months. But if compared with past administrations,
yung kay President Estrada nung simula, mataas din. Yung kay President Aquino nung simula, mataas din. Pero siyempre sa pagdumadaan ng panahon, andyan lahat ng issues, lahat nilalagay sa paanan ng Malacanang, sa door, sa pintuan ng Malacanang, so bumababa yan. Pero si Presidente Duterte ang pinakamatagal na ganito kataas.
Vice President Leni Robredo has recorded a 5-point decrease in her trust rating, while other high-ranking officials, such as Senate President Vicente Tito Soto III, House Speaker Alan Cayetano, and Chief Justice Lucas Bersamin's ratings remain high. Can we really tell if President Duterte's administration is on a honeymoon stage, though it's the middle of his term already?
Hanggang ngayon honeymoon kung in the sense na hanggang ngayon hindi pa bumababa ng ang lowest na niya na trust niya 70, line of 7, ang lowest approval niya 75. Ang taas yan.
Mai Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Light Rail Transit Authority, or LRTA, is implementing partial operations of the LRT Line 2 beginning today. These include limited operating hours and number of trains. Joanano tells us why.
The LRTA has completed test runs and system check on their train system after the 4-day shutdown when fire hit its power transformer on Thursday last week. They resumed partial commercial operations today from Cubao to Recto and back. Only 5 train sets are deployed running at a speed of 40 to 50 kph from what used to be 60 to 80 kph average speed limit. LRTA spokesperson Attorney Hernando Cabrera explained they need to control the deployment of trains to avoid another power tripping.
We have to balance yung speed, yung distancing at saka yung location ng ating mga train in relation doon sa ating power supply. Kasi yung power supply natin, meron pa tayong mga remaining issues. Ang ina-avoid namin kasi is yung magkaroon tayo ng power tripping. Pwedeng mag-trip or mag-shut off yung ating power supply kapag nasobrahan natin yung power consumption by deploying ng napakaraming tren.
The LRTA also adjusted LRT2's operating hours. The first train leaves at 6 a.m. while the last train from Cubao departs at 8:30 p.m. and the last train from Recto leaves at 9 p.m. The LRTA explains this is to give more time for maintenance work on trains, tracks, signaling system, and power supply. After the resumption of partial operations, the LRTA will focus on repair works in Anona Station, which may take several weeks. Katipunan and Santolan stations will remain closed in the next 9 months. The Department of Transportation assures buses and modern jeepneys will augment passengers' transportation. The MMDA and ANCAS will continue to assist affected LRT Line 2 commuters through free rides. From Santolan Station, 50 ANCAS motors will be available and another 50 from Recto Station from Tuesday to Thursday, 8 to 10 a.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Nursing homes that provide daytime fitness services for the elderly are becoming popular in Japan as elderly residents have access to meals, health checks, as well as other leisure activities, while also enjoying overnight family time at home. Nina Armilio has the story.
As a result of Japan's aging population, home-based caring services for the elderly are receiving recognition from majority of the Japanese society. Most of the nursing homes were built in communities where usually some 6 to 7 staff members attend to 20 elderly people. Many senior people go to the nursing home 2 to 3 times a week, where they will receive diet management and rehabilitation training. One of the nursing homes in Chiba is an example of how the institutions have developed in recent years. Apart from the conventional services most nursing homes provide, this one provides fitness services. Although the average age of the seniors is 81 years old, they work out an average 1 to 2 hours each day. Around 500 elderly people have become able to live on their own via fitness activities provided by the nursing home over the past 5 years. Among the 8 fitness facilities at the home, treadmills with protective straps seem to be the most popular. Each elderly person is required to work out on the treadmill for at least 30 minutes every day.
Now I feel my upper body is more flexible after I have sticking to exercise on the treadmill, and I feel my legs are much stronger as well.
I'm able to control my weight increase after coming to the nursing home. My waist used to measure 115 centimeters in the past, and now it has been reduced to some 90 centimeters.
Japan has up to 43,000 nursing homes after nearly 20 years of development, and the industry is now hiring more nursing personnel from other countries to fill its shortage of manpower. After the standardization of the industry, the country also aims to seize opportunities in the Asian market. Nina Armilio, UNTV News and Rescue.
Welcome back to Y News. We pick up to where Angelo Castro III left off. I'm Alex Baltazar, and here are the headlines. The Department of Health confirms fourth meningococcemia case in Laguna. The Sandiganbayan junks the more than 1 billion peso civil case filed by the Presidential Commission on Good Government against the Marqueses and cronies. Newly installed BuCor Chief Director General Gerald Bandag confirms receiving threats to his life. Mayor Isko Moreno Domagoso celebrates his accomplishments in his first 100 days as the Manila City Mayor. And victims of alleged investment scam in Munificence Ministry filed complaints with the Department of Justice. Good evening. Department of Health Calabarzon confirms another meningococcemia case. This is the fourth confirmed case recorded in Laguna. Sherwin Kulubong tells us why.
A 6-year-old boy is now under observation in San Lazaro General Hospital. Department of Health 4A Regional Director Dr. Eduardo Hanayro says the patient has fever, cough, cold, and rashes.
Meron tayong isang latest report last weekend na meron tayong isang kaso sa Paite, Laguna. Confirmed case pero buhay pa naman siya. Kaya nasa San Lazaro at binabantayan doon.
The Laguna Provincial Health Office is now conducting contact tracing in the area. Prophylaxis is being given to those who had direct contact with the child, Hanayro added. The DOH encourages Paite residents to immediately go to a hospital for check-up should they experience fever. Sherwin Kulubong, UNTV News and Rescue, Laguna.
Several kilograms of fish died in a fish pond in South Road Properties, Cebu City last week. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BuFAR, in Region 7 has informed the public not to sell or eat the fish that died. Gladys Tawabi reports why.
After receiving the report about the fish kill, BuFAR Region 7 immediately took water samples where the fish died. They found out the hot weather condition is the reason why the fish died due to lack of oxygen.
It was due to high temperature, where the heat index that time was about 40. And taas na kaayo for our fishes, plus mabaw pag yun kaayo. Unang masamot low ang dissolved oxygen, which kung taas ang temperature, it follows na maubos yun ang dissolved oxygen.
BuFAR explains the fish is not safe for consumption because of the possibility of contamination. BuFAR 7 will conduct another round of tests to find out if there are other reasons for the fish kill.
It's not really advisable to consume dead fishes na, no? Never. We have doubts na posible lang, no? Na doon na yung mga katong heavy metals like lead, mercury.
Gladys Tawabi, UNTV News and Rescue, Cebu City.
Sandiganbayan dismisses the ill-gotten wealth case against Marcos family and others. Malacanang says the Duterte administration is not to be blamed if the complainant lost its case. Rosalie Cos clarifies why.
The Sandiganbayan 2nd Division has dismissed the civil case filed by the Presidential Commission on Good Government, or PCGG, against the Marcos family for allegedly amassing 1.052 billion pesos worth of ill-gotten wealth. Based on the anti-graft court's decision, the PCGG failed to prove by preponderance of evidence that the defendants by themselves or in conspiracy with the accused Marcoses obtained ill-gotten wealth. The palace says the PCGG can still appeal the decision before the Supreme Court, but this is still up to Solicitor General Jose Calida. When asked if the Marcoses should be held accountable for the alleged ill-gotten wealth, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said,
kung ill-gotten, we should always run after. Basta ill-gotten, hindi na kailangan tanongin yun. It should be a policy of all governments to run after ill-gotten wealth.
The palace also insists the Duterte administration should not be blamed if the PCGG lost its case.
Sino ba may hawak doon? Hindi naman itong administrasyon na ito. Kumbaga, puro minana lang ng administrasyon.
In August this year, Sandigan Bayan also dismissed the 102 billion pesos worth of forfeiture case against the Marcos family and others. Rosa Licoz, UNTV, News and Rescue, Malacanang.
The newly installed chief of the Bureau of Corrections, or BuCor, confirms he has been receiving threats to his life. He says, however, he will fight to his death. Showan Dano tells us why.
This was the attire of the newly installed BuCor Chief Director General Gerald Bantag during an inspection in the New Bilibid prison yesterday, together with NCRPO Director Police Major General Guillermo Eliazar. A camouflage shirt, a pair of tactical pants, and a submachine gun. Short firearms on his right waist, a smoke grenade, and a combat knife on his lower back. Bantag says there are threats to his life now.
Pagdating dyan, meron na talaga. May mga nagkikasing-casing na nga eh.
Bantag adds he will fight to death against those who plan to kill him.
Pero talagang ganyan. Wini-welcome naman natin yan eh. Kung mamatay ka, di talagang ganun, di ba? Pag namatay ka naman, alam mo pa ba yun? Sinong nakakaalam patay na siya? Di ba? Wala na yun. Banat lang.
Bantag has recently directed all BuCor personnel to undergo retraining and to assess and remove those who are involved in anomalies. Bantag came from the Marines before he joined the Philippine National Police Academy Kaagapay class of 1996. Joanna Ano, UNTV News and Rescue.
Some of the victims of the alleged investment scam in Munificence Ministry that operate in Mindanao files their complaint with the Department of Justice. The complainant's total investments amount to over 150 million pesos. Nel Maribuhok details why.
The victims who came from General Santos City appeared in the office of the Department of Justice today. They reported they have been scammed by Munificence Ministry. According to Karen Calzis, one of the complainants, a manager of one of the organization's satellite offices, the ministry have failed to give their payouts for 4 months now. Because of this, their recruits are now turning against them.
Marami akong ditreat doon, tsaka sa Facebook. Hindi ko na alam kasi hindi ko sila makontak. Wala. Sana naman matulungan kami. Pastor June, sana lumabas ka na. Kami ang naiipit dito.
The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has released an advisory against Munificence Ministry, which operates under the Interdenominational Evangelical Church Ministries Incorporated that have activities in Mindanao. The SEC says Munificence Ministry is not registered with the Commission. The SEC also emphasizes that both Interdenominational Evangelical Church Ministries Incorporated as a religious organization and Munificence Ministry are not authorized to solicit investments from the public. It adds that any application for registration to solicit investments shall not be allowed by the Commission under the circumstance. Based on information gathered by the SEC, 45% of a member's investment is his monthly profit or payout. It means that if one gives 5,000 pesos, their monthly payout should be 2,250 pesos. The founders of Munificence Ministry will face charges for estafa and other complaints. The SEC also warns that those who invite or recruit other people to join or invest in this venture or offer investment contracts or securities to the public may be held criminally liable or accordingly sanctioned or penalized. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Albay Representative Joey Salceda shifts the blame to opposition congressman regarding Senator Lacson's sloppy work comment on the proposed national budget the lower chamber passed. Meanwhile, Senate President Vicente Soto III assures to remove questionable fund for unspecified road project. Vincent Arboleda will tell us why.
House Committee on Ways and Means Chairman Albay Representative Joey Salceda defended the lower house of Congress from Senator Panfilo Lacson's sloppy work remark on the proposed 2020 national budget. Senator Lacson was referring to the 15 million peso road project that appears to be a cut and paste work. If there has been a problem, Salceda said it may be from the opposition. ACT Teachers Representative Franz Castro responded to Salceda's comments. For Castro, what they did was to only reveal the big budget cuts made in the funds intended for education, health, and other public services. Castro adds the House leadership should criticize their acts and processes instead. Meanwhile, Senate President Vicente Soto III assures Senate will remove the 15 million peso road improvement fund that Senator Lacson saw in the proposed 2020 budget. Soto agrees with Lacson's point that it's not clear for what particular project the questionable fund will be used.
Hindi sinabi ko anong road. Kaya sabi niya sloppy.
Sir, you're the
di ba?
second vote.
Siyempre, anong road yun? Road to perdition o road?
Vincent Arboleda, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
Malacanang believes there is no mass transportation crisis in the country, contrary to what a militant group claims. This is after technical glitches occurred last week in the 3 mass transport systems in Metro Manila. Rosalie Cos explains why.
Militant group Bagong Alyansang Makabayan claims there is an ongoing mass transport crisis in Metro Manila. But for Malacanang, what they see is only heavy traffic, but passengers are still able to reach their destinations. The palace insists there's no mass transport crisis happening.
Ano mang ibig nila sabihin ng transportation crisis? Ang nakikita ko lang traffic, hindi yung transport na yan. Mayroong transportation naman. Kakasakay naman tayo lahat. Nabasa ko yung paliwanag niya, dati-dati halos araw-araw, nagbabag daw. Ngayon daw once a week na lang. So may laki daw improvement.
And that's good, once a week na lang.
Kung araw-araw tapos ngayon once a week, di laki nga improvement.
The palace has a suggestion for those who do not want to run late for work and appointments.
May solusyon naman dun eh. If you want to arrive early in your destination, then you go there earlier.
Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
Activist and known tour guide Carlos Celdran passed away at the age of 46 years old. In a Facebook post, Celdran's wife Tessa said that his family is making arrangements to bring him home. Tessa added that while no details can be announced yet, she said that her husband died from natural causes. Celdran, 46, came to prominence in 2010 for interrupting a mass at the Manila Cathedral. The tour guide, who was dressed as national hero Jose Rizal, staged a protest against priests and bishops who were interfering with the passage of the reproductive health bill. Local telephone companies begin to implement a new phone number format. This in compliance with the National Telecommunications Commission or NTC's order to migrate all 7-digit numbers to an 8-digit format. Find out more details about this as Mon Hokson reports.
All landline subscribers in Metro Manila and nearby provinces will now have to use 8-digit landline phone numbers. This means all numbers with area code 02 will become 8-digit numbers. The NTC says the migration aims to accommodate the rising number of landline subscribers. But don't worry, the new system is easy. According to local telcos, just add the Public Telecommunications Entity or PTE identifier to the 7-digit number to come up with an 8-digit number. The NTC assigned every telco a different PTE identifier: 8 for PLDT, 7 for Globe, 6 for Converge, 5 for Eastern, and 3 for Bayantel. If you want to call a PLDT number, just add prefix number 8 to the 7-digit number. If it is a Globe number, just add prefix number 7 to the 7-digit number. The procedure is the same for Bayantel and Converge. When calling from outside the Philippines, just dial 00 plus country code, then the area code plus the 8-digit number. But the NTC clarifies that phone numbers such as the National Complaint Hotline 888 and other emergency special numbers which are less than 7 digits starting from 1 or 9 will remain. Starting October 6 until January next year, callers of 7-digit numbers will hear a voice prompt. Callers will be instructed the 7-digit number is no longer available and they must dial the new 8-digit phone number. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue.
And to complete the most significant news for this day, Y News continues. Here are the top stories. Good news to motorists bound for Tagaytay and Santa Rosa, Laguna in the long holiday. The 10-kilometer Laguna segment of the Cavite-Laguna Expressway, or CALAX, is already complete and will open before October ends. Aiko Miguel tells us why.
Motorists who apply the Laguna segment of CALAX to open by the end of this month will save 20 to 30 minutes travel time. Department of Public Works and Highway Secretary Mark Villar says the new road will help a lot in easing heavy traffic during the holiday season for motorists headed for Tagaytay and Laguna.
Meron ng interchange, meron ng rotonda, so okay na siya. Finishing touches na lang.
Toll will be 4 to 5 pesos per kilometer. The Cavite segment of CALAX, on the other hand, is 40% done.
Eventually, yung pagtapos na yung buong alignment, yung travel time from Cavitex to SLEX, it will from 2 hours magiging 45 minutes na lang.
The 45 kilometers Cavite-Laguna Expressway project is expected to be finished in second quarter of 2022. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Today marks the first 100 days of Mayor Isko Moreno Dumagoso in office. In his State of the City address, he cited his accomplishments, future plans, and advice to the public officials. Manileños have positive reactions to the city mayor's performance so far. Harleen Delgado details why in this report.
In a presentation before his State of the City address, Mayor Isko Moreno Dumagoso presented the accomplishments and changes made in the city in his first 100 days. Those include cleaning and embellishing landmarks in the city, such as the Bonifacio Shrine and Rojas Boulevard, passing of ordinances and executive orders, including the open governance, liquor ban, general tax amnesty program, and the strict implementation of curfew.
Basurero lang ako, naging mayor ako, hindi ko na palalagpasin ang pagkakataon na ito.
He also cited the 16 foreign ambassadors who made courtesy calls, the donations from citizens outside the city, as well as from overseas Filipino workers, and benefits for senior citizens and persons with disabilities. Other plans were also laid out, including making Manila a green city. He also welcomed an international study, noting that Manila is the 3rd city in the world with the lowest quality of life.
The best thing that we can do naman is to address it. Anong maganda namang solusyon na pwedeng i-provide?
The mayor met with Environment Secretary Roy Simatu earlier to discuss the relocation plans for the informal settler families along Pasig River and the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. He also has this advice to City Hall employees and an allegedly erring barangay chairman.
Alisin nyo na sa isipan ninyo yung kulay ng politika. Walang orange, walang blue, walang dilaw, walang puti. Iisa lang tayo. Tayong lahat ay Batang Maynila.
Dumagoso also announced that he signed Executive Order Number 43, which mandates barangay chairman and other concerned local government officials to conduct clearing operations at least once a week. We ask Manileños what they can say about Yorme's performance.
Ate, na sobrang magulo.
Okay siya kasi nung unang sa Quiapo, nung base Isko, talagang ang dumi niya, ang daming kalat.
Okay po kasi nung nakaraang mga mayor, hindi po naging ganito kaganda yung pamamalakad na ginawa.
Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
The Bureau of Customs advises overseas Filipino workers to send Balikbayan boxes only through legitimate forwarding companies this holiday season. The BOC also reminds OFWs the tax-free ceiling for Balikbayan boxes is 150,000 pesos. Aiko Miguel reports why.
The Bureau of Customs, or BOC, expects an influx of Balikbayan boxes to enter the Philippines, especially these Burr months. The BOC is doubling its effort to fast-track the delivery of Balikbayan boxes to the recipients. According to Customs Assistant Commissioner Attorney Vincent Philip Maronilla, they are set to install modern X-ray scanners at container ports across the country to screen the contents of Balikbayan boxes better.
Ang suggestion namin, pumili sila ng kumpanya na medyo reputable na, meaning yung mga may customer service hotline, may natatawagan sila pag nagka-problema.
But Rebecca has an experience 2 years ago she won't forget. The items inside a Balikbayan box sent to her family from Saudi Arabia were open and spoiled.
Magkahalo na yung mga sabon, mga detergent, mga powder, yung mga nagkahalo-halo na. Tapos yung iba pang mga mga item, wala na. Ganun. Nawala.
But the BOC clarifies they strictly implement the no-open policy for Balikbayan boxes, in which they don't open them unless the owner permits them to do so.
Never pong ang customs nagbubukas ng Balikbayan box.
The BOC also advises OFWs to place enough number of items inside Balikbayan boxes not exceeding the limit. OFWs must be sure the contents of Balikbayan boxes are not for commercial purposes like soaps, chocolates, and gadgets. The BOC reminds that exceeding the 150,000 pesos tax-free ceiling for Balikbayan boxes, OFWs will have to pay. For concerns, complaints, and questions about Balikbayan boxes, the public can reach the BOC through their hotline and website. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
And for the news abroad, here's Kath Dumaraos reporting live from Bangkok, Thailand. Kath, good evening.
Good evening, William. Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam said on Tuesday her administration had no plans to use emergency powers for the introduction of other laws and that the Chinese territory was equipped to handle the current situation on its own as the city braced for further demonstrations through the week. Lam was speaking at a news conference after a long weekend of violent protests at which thousands of people defied colonial-era emergency powers imposed on Saturday that had banned the wearing of face masks. The ban on face masks took effect on Saturday, October 5th, under the emergency laws that allow authorities to make any regulations whatsoever in the public interest.
It is actually a very difficult decision because of the resistance, because of the enforcement concerns, and because of perception. So what I can assure you that the government will take a very serious view and very careful assessment before the ERO is to be invoked again.
U.S. troops have begun withdrawing from positions in northern Syria, paving the way for a Turkish operation against Kurdish fighters in the border area. Nomer Peñaranda reports.
A U.S. military base in Syria was left abandoned on Monday in the wake of a decision by President Donald Trump to withdraw troops from northeastern Syria. Kurdistan 24 showed the empty compound of the base in Tel Akram, close to Syria's border with Turkey in the north. A senior Trump administration official said the decision to redeploy the troops does not constitute a U.S. withdrawal from Syria. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said U.S. forces had withdrawn from an area between the towns of Tel Abyad and Ras Al Ain. The U.S. withdrawal will leave Kurdish-led forces in Syria vulnerable to a planned incursion by the Turkish military, which brands them terrorists. Trump doubled down on his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from military engagement in northeastern Syria, even as Democrats and fellow Republicans criticized the decision.
It's always a firm decision. Last time I made a firm decision, and I said we'll do it over a period of time.
The policy shift has been denounced by some of Trump's closest congressional allies and by Kurdish-led forces who have been Washington's most capable partner in fighting Islamic State in Syria.
We defeated this group largely, defeated ISIS, 100% of the caliphate, 100%. Say, well, when do we get out? There's going to be a time we get out. We have to bring our people back home.
Nomer Peñaranda, UNTV News and Rescue, USA.
Emotions were mixed as a replica of Captain Cook's ship sailed into New Zealand, marking 250 years since his arrival. Jessica Eslava has the details.
A replica of Captain James Cook's Endeavour has docked in Gisborne 250 years after the British navigator landed in New Zealand and named the cove he first sighted Poverty Bay. The replica is part of a flotilla known as Tuya 250 that has been sailing around New Zealand on a taxpayer-funded voyage in memory of Cook's arrival in New Zealand. Dame Jenny Shipley, who is co-chair of Tuya 250, acknowledged that for many Indigenous New Zealanders, the commemoration celebrations are tinged with grief, as 9 Maori lost their lives in the first encounter with Cook and his men, and eventually, the Maori people lost their sovereignty. Some iwi, tribal Maori, have opposed the commemoration celebrations and said that spending taxpayer money marking the colonization of Maori land is wrong.
It's really important, I think, for us to come and just remember the whole story of what happened and acknowledge that. And so really that's what I wanted to just be part of the karakia and that this morning.
Well, since the landing of white men, there's been nothing but distrust, dishonesty, killing, murderous, you name it. We've done it 250 years later and here we still are to this.
At least one town banned the ship from docking after an outcry from the local Maori community. 10,000 people gathered in Gisborne to welcome the ship, but the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, was noticeably absent. She was meeting with the visiting Dutch Prime Minister, Mark Rutte. Ardern told RNZ that it was important New Zealanders faced up to uncomfortable realities around Cook's arrival in New Zealand, and she had already spent 2 days in Gisborne over the weekend. Jessica Eslava, UNTV News and Rescue, Christchurch, New Zealand.
Sweden's king has removed 5 of his grandchildren from the royal house. Jovic Burmas details why.
In Sweden, Swedish King Carl Gustaf announced on Monday that the children of his 2 younger children, Prince Carl Philip and Princess Madeleine, will no longer be members of the royal house. According to a press release, the purpose was to establish which members of the royal family may be expected to perform official duties. This means that Prince Alexander, Prince Gabriel, Princess Leonor, Prince Nicholas, and Princess Adrian will continue to be members of the royal family, but they will no longer enjoy the style of Royal Highness. They will retain their titles of Duke and Duchess. And in Brazil, slick from a mysterious oil spill blighted Brazil's beaches over the weekend. Brazil's environmental agency IBAMA has reported that an analysis of a vast oil spill along the country's northeastern beaches showed the spilled crude did not originate in the country. The spill spans over 1,500 kilometers of Brazil's northeast coast, affecting wildlife and polluting some of the postcard beaches in one of the nation's top tourist destinations. A wild-scale cleanup operation is underway along the coast. Jovic Burmas, UNTV News and Rescue.
Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter said he feels good enough to build houses following a recent fall that gave him a black eye and required stitches above his brow. Carter was working at a Habitat for Humanity event in Nashville, Tennessee on Monday and spoke about the fall which happened at his home in Georgia on Sunday.
Well, I feel good. I broke my hip a few months ago and I've been in rehab since then. And yesterday I fell down and hurt my forehead and got a black eye, but I'm doing well.
Carter is the longest living U.S. president, celebrating his 95th birthday last Tuesday. And those are the news from the other parts of the globe. Back to you, William.
Thank you very much. Kath Dumaraos reporting live from Bangkok, Thailand. The Wishcovery Originals weekly elimination began on Sunday. Aspiring music acts from the Visayas and Mindanao battled it out for the chance to become the next online sensation. Mirasol Abugadil has more details.
4
music acts from the Visayas and Mindanao were the first contenders at the Wishcovery Originals weekly eliminations last Sunday. The Vawenya pop and R&B soloist Abby Singson sang her heart out with her original composition, Jealous.
You got this whole R&B feel on it, very vibes. You're jealous, so you're sad, and you capture that in the music.
Para sa akin, parang effortless. Very effortless yung pagkakanta niya.
Ang main issue ko dito is yung chorus. Ang ganda ng metering nung una, sparse. Pagdating sa chorus, naging tight, mas frequent. Yung metering mo, mas madalas, no? But then, the melodic leap, dun ako nabitin.
Stone Troopers, a four-piece reggae rock group from Bacolod, impressed the judge reactors with their composition entitled Goof Love.
I love the whole vibe of it. Parang you're not saying too much, but you keep wanting to listen kasi the melody is very catchy.
Very unique yung timbre ng boses. Familiar, but very unique.
Merong issues lang ako dun sa tenses. Grammatically, mga imagery na hindi nabubuo yung picture. For me, if you can just fix this lyrically, I promise you, it's gonna be a hit song.
Real-life couple from Bacolod, Bong and Kia, serenaded the judge reactors with their own love song.
Cute ng song. Definitely one of alam mo yung mga kanta na ang dali na lagay sa sine.
Yung chorus niya, although malakas, I mean, I can say it's a good commercial song. Definitely, pwede itong maging hit song. But since this is a competition, I'm hoping there's more to just the repeating lines of the chorus. Kung malalagyan mo ng B part.
The only thing is, sa akin as a listener, you're saying in the chorus, you're in love after all. Pero in the verses, it's kind of obvious already that you're in love. I think it would have been better na parang, in the verses would have been saying na parang, you know, at first, hindi kita pinapansin or something. I feel like you could have been more creative with the song.
And though he experienced a technical problem while performing, the Bawenyo pop and R&B soloist Jake Tumabang got the judge reactors respect.
Cause this love is meant to be. Give you hope and not me.
Although ang galing kasi kung wala sa tono ng gitara ko, wala na rin ako sa tono kumanta. Pero ikaw, Jake, nakanta mo pa rin siya kung paano mo siya gusto kantahin.
Straight to the point. Diba? Talagang sinasabi mo yung damdamin mo sa babae.
Sa akin, very commercial pero out of the box. No? Ang ganda ng chorus mo.
In the end, the Vawenya singer-songwriter Abby Singson got the highest score to advance to the October monthly finals. The contenders were judged based on the following criteria: musicianship 25%, musicality 25%, melody 25%, and lyrics with 25%. Next week, another 4 aspiring music acts will battle it out for a place in the monthly finals and ultimately the grand finals. The Wishcovery Originals episode can be viewed on the Wish 1075 YouTube channel, while the exclusive Wish Bus performances of the contenders can be found on the dedicated YouTube channel of Wishcovery. Mirasol Abugadil, UNTV, News and Rescue.
A teenage dumagat in Quezon Province is determined to finish his studies and become a seaman someday. He wants to serve as an example to his fellow dumagats to appreciate education as Indigenous people. Japet Cablaida tells us why.
18-year-old Nelson Adornado is from the Dumagat ethnic group of Nakar, Quezon. He strives hard in his studies, not only for himself. He aims to encourage his fellow Dumagat youth to enroll in schools without sacrificing their indigenous culture.
Ako po gusto makapag-aaral para po, pag po nakapag-aaral po ako, marami po akong mahihila po na makatapos po na kagaya po namin. Gusto ko po sana maging seaman po.
Bakit?
Dahil po para po sa amin pong lugar ay nasanay po kami sa dagat.
Nelson is now an 8th grader. He says he is fortunate to be a scholar under the Tribal Outreach Program of the College of Science and Technology and Communications or CSTC in Sariaya, Quezon. According to Bayani Escaraga, a Dumagat tribal leader, they take advantage of such opportunities so they can keep abreast with the changing times.
Edukasyon ay mahalaga para sa aming mga katutubo. Napakalayo na ng agwat sa amin nung edukasyon.
CSTC provides them with livelihood skills training for the Dumagat community.
Lahat po ng gamit na ginamit sa training, iniiwan na po ng aming paaralan.
At the school's intramural celebration yesterday, the entire school community paid tribute to the Indigenous people and their significance in our time. Japet Kablayda, UNTV News and Rescue, Sariaya, Quezon.
And those are the reasons behind the news this October 8, 2019. On behalf of Alex Baltazar and Angelo Castro III, I am William Theo, and before we close, we will recap with today's significant sound bites. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening.
Ano bang ibig nila sabihin ng transportation crisis? Ang nakikita ko lang traffic.
Let's say si General Bayalde, meron siyang dapat sisihin. Ang Senado, sisihin niya. Yung Blue Ribbon, hindi siya medyo magalong.
Lahat ng mga one-star rank pataas ay qualified na maaaring mamuno ng Philippine National Police. So may mga pagkakataon na may mga deep selection na ginagawa ang Pangulo.
Meron tayong isang latest report last weekend na meron tayong isang kaso sa Paite, Laguna. Confirmed case pero buhay pa naman siya.
Sana naman matulungan kami, Pastor Jun. Sana lumabas ka na. Kami ang naiipit dito.